Hey, gang. Welcome back to another episode of No Countries for Otakus. I'm back healthy. I know Dwayne's sick. Bro, we just taking turns. We're going old, man. The old immune system doesn't work as well. But we're back for another episode. Dwayne's out today. So it's just going to be me rambling for about 30 minutes. And hopefully he'll be back next week or the week after to cover Classroom of the Elite. This week though, I'm gonna do one that I just watched recently called Koto no Tomare. And it's a slice of life. I like my slice of lives, man. I be crying this shit all up in this bitch. And I'm looking forward to jumping into this. And I hope if you've watched it too, feel free to leave some comments and your thoughts. Kono, not Koto, Kono, in the comments. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Okay, so this anime pretty much it surrounds Chika. His grandfather used to make kotos, and never was really into it. He was more like a bully, or as they call him, a delinquent and stuff, until he started to turn his life around. And then his grandfather got attacked by the same people he used to hang out with for a little bit, and got sick and passed away. And then going into high school, he ends up joining the Tokise High School Koto Club, along with I'm trying to be good with names this time, along with Kurata. Now Kurata is also a co-main star in this show. In his case, he was a first year when he got to the school, and he would join the club, and it was all seniors and just him, like senior girls. Those girls left to sorry for the light, it's coming off the screen. Those girls left to graduate high school and stuff. Or yeah, I think that was it. They were second years going to third years or something like that. I can't remember, but they were about to leave, and because they left, there was just him left in the Koto Club. So they were about to close the Koto Club down. They already had like a really bad bias against Chika. Because of that bias. Damn, I didn't realize the video did that. What the hell? Anyway, because of the bias, they were actually trying to get him kicked out of school, which is kind of fucked up. They didn't want him to go to the school. They were trying, some of the teachers and stuff were trying to get him kicked out. Kurata stood up for him, and that's how he ended up. After a little persuasion, because at first, I'm gonna be real, Kurata was kind of a dick. And we're gonna jump into that in story. But yeah, he stood up for him, and then more people started joining the club. And I'll get into that in the story. And then it pretty much follows the club from pretty much nothing all the way to winning the tournament to go to nationals, which is the end of season 2. Now this story, it's two seasons. Each season is about 12 episodes. The first season is the team pretty much getting the foundation of the team, leading it into the first tournament that they go to, where they pretty much announce themselves to the district. And then the second season is them preparing to go to compete at nationals, and I think one more character joins in season 2, and she has a pretty interesting story. So with that being said, that's the end of synopsis. Let's go ahead and jump into the story. All right, man, this is a very strong story. I will admit, to me, even though they're not the most how to put it, supremely popular. If you think of supremely popular anime, you got Bleach, One Piece, Bleach, One Piece. You know, you think about Tokyo Ghoul, Naruto, stuff like Naruto and all that stuff. Slice of life to me in the anime is strong. I really find it, especially emotionally, to me, they're really strong. Obviously, you got to look past some of the dialogue, because I really don't think Japanese people talk like how sometimes like saying the person's name like 50 times in the sentence and stuff like that. But I really do like how they craft their slice of life stories, and I think we've done a few slice of life anime reviews on here, and you could tell a lot of them, they do have a really strong impact. This one is another one, man, and it's about an instrument. Remember the last one I covered was about the piano. I think this has a really good build up. It starts off, it shows you don't really know much about Chika at first. You just know he's a delinquent, right? But it starts off with Kurata, and he's pretty much explaining how he got into playing the Koto and stuff like that. It shows him with his team losing the tournament to try to get into nationals, and they all crying because they were all like at that age that they won't be able to compete the next year or go off to college and stuff like that. So then it follows him. He's trying to clean up the club. There's bullies in the club and stuff. That's pretty much how Chika got in trouble, because Chika's trying to help him by beating up the fucking bullies, and they were about to expel him for that. So I think there's a lot of really strong characters in here. There are some characters that are pretty much supportive. They count as main, which is the Adachi, Mizuhara, and there's one more guy, Sakai. Those three, they are main characters, but there's no real backstory to them, at least not yet. I haven't read the manga, but their story pretty much surrounds them learning how to play the instrument. The ones with the characters with really good meat and potatoes in this story is Chika, Houzuki, and Kurata. Kurusu, which comes in season 2, she also. I'm talking about this character session. So like I said, the story's pretty strong. It starts off with that. I like how they tell the story of Chika with his grandfather, because his grandfather pretty much saved his life, because his parents fucking disowned him. Animated parents, man, they disowned his ass and kicked him out of home, so he ended up living with his grandparents, and he was running the streets, and his grandfather never gave up on him. And then by introducing him to Koto as a Koto maker and stuff like that, there's a really beautiful scene where the grandfather runs to one of his daughters, I think, and is like, he finally smiled. I got him to play the Koto. This is great. And you could see that he was so proud. It was just something so trivial. And yeah, your boy teared up a little bit there, which was pretty good. His grandfather and stuff. So he really pained when you got enough story there that when it finally, the incident happened that got him in trouble with the police, because the police didn't believe him because he had a history of being a delinquent. They kind of pinned it on him. When the police showed up and stuff, and the grandfather got sick and passed away, you felt a little bit there, especially for a character that wasn't the main character in the story, which was just mainly flashbacks, right? The same thing kind of happened with Houzuki, which is the female girl. So she's a prodigy, and she's the daughter of a Koto school, like one of those really prestigious Koto school that just mainly teach kids how to play the Koto and stuff. And what happens, her dad used to be like a master Koto player. I think he got sick or passed away, or something happened. So the mom had to take over, and the mom succumbed to the public pressure of the public to become pretty much to become, you have to live up to the name of the school, because the school got investors and stuff. And then she started to just drill her daughter to the point that you pretty much burn out your kid. It's almost like, if you think about like American football here or something, where you like force a kid to do a whole bunch of stuff when they're young. When they get to a certain age, you know, they get their own personality and stuff, and because of that, you know, because of that, they burn out. And once they burn out, you know what I mean? So that was pretty interesting. There was a really good story there, especially leading to the end of the season with the healing between her and her mom. Yes. And you realize there was people in the background, especially because she played in there's a scene where she played in a tournament, and she was supposed to play a certain music. She did her own thing, trying to get her mom to listen to her, because she was trying to tell her mom, I'm not enjoying this anymore. And her mom didn't give a fuck. Her mom was just like, you're gonna be the best. And she did it, and her mom pretty much was like, I've done with your disorder. What is up with these parents that just disowning their kids, man? God damn, for not playing this song. Anyway, so it's fucking crazy. So she's living with herself while she goes to school. So she joins the club under the pretense she's like, I'm gonna take this club to nationals, yada yada yada. But it's just that she wanted to have fun playing and not have that school, that prodigy, you know, pressure. And she starts off a little rough around the edges. She's harsh, stuff like that. But as time goes on, she loosens up, and she also looks like she will be the love interest of Chika at this point, which is crazy because you think that she would end up being the love interest of Kurata, which is the senior of the Koto club. Which brings us to Kurata. Kurata is a very interesting character, especially because it seems like the story was pushing towards Chika, but Kurata, man of you know, he doesn't have the highest self-esteem, but he wanted to keep the club alive, and he was just happy to have people join, but he's always not sure of himself, stuff like that. He's always doubted himself and stuff, and as the story goes on, he's learning how to be a leader, because he's the leader of the club, but he didn't know how to do it at first. Obviously he's still reeling from the loss of last year, and he had to go up on stage at the beginning and play in front of the school to convince people to join the club. I guess that's the way they try to convince people to join the club in school, so you had to do that. And obviously navigate with the teachers also trying to shut the club down. That was a little interesting short story at the beginning of season 1. I thought was pretty good. And then as time goes on and more people join the club, trying to get ready. Also, he had this thing where he would crumple under pressure. He was not good under pressure at all. He was trying to go to this particular school, but because of the pressure, the exam, he froze up, fucking burned out, and ended up going to this school. So I guess joining the club, the way they put it, joining the club was like kind of a way for him to redeem himself. So there was a small scene where he went to a school the school he wanted to go to, and he saw his old friends and stuff, and that boy folded like a fucking piece of laundry. But he comes along pretty good, and his story actually strengthens pretty good for season 1. Moving on to season 2, pretty much the same. They're all practicing and stuff. The whole crew at this point is pretty much after, I don't want to give away too much after the incident at the end of season 1 at that first tournament. You know, they're coming together, stuff like that. The 3 other characters, Adachi, Mazuhara, Sakai, they're good now. They're finding their place. The instruments, there's different. I didn't even know they had so many different types of kodos. First, I didn't even know much about the kodo, but it's like different strings. Like the bass guitar version, I guess, would be 16 strings, but the original is 13 strings and stuff like that. So they were all finding out where they fit into the band. It was Mizuhara had trouble learning how to do the tempo and stuff. He picks that up. Adachi changes his instrument to the bigger one, which is, I think it's a 16 string. No, I can't remember exactly. I watched this a little while ago. So him figuring out how to play that and learning that. And Sakai, kind of like the comic relief, but him learning how to play and keep up, and they all playing, because he's even all this happens in under a year. And you know, if you play any instrument, you know it takes longer than a year to do these things. So it was amazing to see that. So it was that was the story in the story. Especially, it was funny how they all joined. They all are just really good friends with Chika, and Houzuki, the girl, pretty much was like, "Hey boys," and they all like fell for her. She's like, "Y'all join the club for me?" And it was like, "Definitely." And then she turns into like a fucking dictator. And it was like, "We've been tricked." it was funny. It was funny shit. So season 2, there is a new character comes in, Kudou, and she has a pretty interesting backstory too. But originally she joined to break the club apart. You know, I guess when she was growing up and stuff, people just used to fucking trauma dump on her ass. And she used to just listen. And then she started blogging about it. Wait, I might be mixing up anime, but I can't. She did something and it kind of like messed up a lot of people. So no one really. So she joined to do the same thing, but the club would not break apart. She was like spreading like, she might be also good, so you might be slowing us down, stuff like that. There's a really good scene between Kurata and Kurusu when she runs out the room and she says some nasty stuff to Kurata, and Kurata was like, "Is that it? I feel for you," and turn around, leave her ass there, bro. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. She comes around though. She finally finds her place in the club. I think she was just bullying people because of the pain she was going through. That keeping secrets thing, I think that's from the anime that me and Dwayne were supposed to play together. So just forget about that. That was a totally different anime. I'm mixing anime together. Forgive me. But in this case, yes. So she goes there, but she used to spread lies about a lot of people and stuff. It does come back. She does go on an apology spree after she like joins the club and, you know, gets some clothes and stuff. And they all beat her ass. They punch her in the face and shit. That shit was funny as fuck. But she comes back, she joins the club, and she's actually pretty decent at Koto too. So she's helping train and teach some of the people. There are some other side characters that come in. One of them is now the apprentice to her mom, called Kazuki's mom. But she ends up teaching them, and she's like harsh, but they don't care. They just want to get better. And there's a whole story between her, Houzuki, and the mom. So which is a really good story there. There's a lot of, with the overarching theme of music, there's a lot of little stories that connect together so well that it keeps you engaged for all 24 episodes. And like I said, man, sometimes these slice of life stories, and the good thing is, like, they don't require 60 plus episodes. A lot of these stories can be told in 12. This one is 2 seasons. I think I'm hoping there will be another season for when they go onto the national stage. I'm hoping that that comes out soon. We'll just have to wait. But I really enjoy the storytelling in these types of stories, especially these musical ones. I got another one lined up that I'm looking forward to watch. And if Dwayne ever miss a week, I'm gonna throw that in there. It's really beautiful, especially with the end of the year coming up. Gotta get these boys in. So that's it pretty much for the story. It's just this teams in the year coming together to play beautiful music on this traditional instrument and making it to nationals. That's pretty much what that's the big story. And then the mini stories that I just told in between there with the individual characters either learning how to play, finding their place in the club, healing from past trials and tribulations, healing relationships with family members and people, and a couple of love bonds in here. Kurusu and Kurata. You see there's a little spark there, which is really nice. I like that. And then obviously Houzuki and Chika. And Chika's character is deep because he is a genius, but because he never really got the proper training and stuff. But it does show throughout the show that that boy could play. And the focus on a lot of this, the Koto instrument, is about the emotions. The emotion is played through the thing. So with that being said, when we come down, I'm gonna go ahead and give the story here a quick grade. I'm gonna give this story, for me, a 5 out of 5. Really good story, and the stories within the story really hit home. I really enjoyed it a lot. Alright, so moving on to characters. I did cover a lot of characters there in this in that story section, but I really think that all the characters are great, man. I will say where it does knock a little bit, and it's just mainly because there's not enough time to cover all of these characters in depth, is the 3 main / supporting characters that are part of the band. It would have been like to see, I guess they were all delinquents, but they kind of hooked up with Chika when Chika was stopped being a delinquent, and then they were just pretty much trying to be friends with him, right? Those characters, they were not wasted, because obviously in the band, that's not how it's done. They had a really vital role to play, and it was beautiful to see them, but it just, they didn't have as much depth as the main characters that Kurata, Houzuki, Koto. They didn't have much as them. Even Kurosu, who comes in season 2, she has more depth, so she gets a little depth, but it doesn't hurt the story at all. I think all the characters are well fleshed out. There's enough here to pull the heartstrings, enough comedy that it's not too much that you start to get annoyed. There's a little slapstick stuff that they usually have in these things, but I think the characters interact with each other. Even characters like one of the girls, she's a side character. She comes from she was there the year before, and she came back to see them and support them and stuff, which was pretty cool because she was in flashbacks. The supporting of his family, Kurata's family, but they were worried about him, and then they see him play on the final stage, and they were like, "Holy shit, that's our son." The relationship between Houzuki and her mom, that was a really really fleshed out characters. Even the mom, even though she didn't have that much screen time, when she did, and they flash back to her and what lead her to how she is now, strong, very strong. Not much to say about the characters, man. You know, the story usually takes up most of it. We're gonna give the characters a 5 out of 5. Strong character development, stuff like that, man. It was really good for 2 seasons. I you know, when you want to know more about the characters, I think now that they've passed most of the healing and stuff, the next one is pretty much just going to be the tournament. So they might not even need to make a movie. They could just fucking not movie, a series. They could, if they could just release a movie. But you know, it'll be interesting to see. Now I'm talking about animation. The animation is pretty cool. They do a really good slide in between the, you know, when they do the funny faces and stuff like that. It kind of it's literally the same animation style as I cannot remember the anime that I had reviewed with the kid that used to play the piano, and then he met the girl with a violin. It's literally the same animation, and I think a lot of these slice of life anime, they kind of keep the same animation style. I think a lot of these animation studios have pretty much found the style for slice of life anime, and most of them, to me, that I've seen, have all kept in this particular area of animation style, and I think it's pretty solid. You can tell when they get to the parts where they play the music. Now, I love why I love these shows and why I love anime is just the way they portray how people are perceiving the music. Obviously, you're gonna feel it yourself as you listen to music, or even if you think about Food Wars, when with the chef, their clothes would like strip off and shit where they taste the food. It'd be like the flavor, how they was perceiving flavor. Obviously, you can't taste the food, so they have to visually explain to you the food. In this case, it's music. Even though you can hear the music, they visually show you what everyone is thinking as the music's being played, a particular song and stuff like that. And there is that final song. Oh my god. Oh, fucking amazing. You know what I mean? It is something special. And you feel that bitch, especially after you said, "No, watch 23 episodes." And you got to that final episode. I think it's the final, or either the final episode. Yeah, it's the final episode. No, it's not the final episode. It's the episode before the final episode. And they finally get on stage and they rock the mic, bro. Oh my god, man. It was such a beautiful fucking thing to watch. They played the first string and everyone ended up with a metal background. No, it was water background. And that was supposed to be the whole theme. And I didn't get to mention it in characters. There is a character, Takinkami, which is the teacher that's supposed to be taking care of the students. And he comes as someone that didn't give a fuck, bro. But you realize this dude was a fucking genius level composer. And he just lost passion because everyone was just like the girl, on his ass about composing music. And he lost his interest, you know. But they light the fire under him, and the final song they play was one of his pieces. And he was like, these kids are good. So that was cool to see. But animation wise, man, I love how they always portray, especially in these musics, what the audience should be feeling. And it really helps visually seeing on the screen with it. You know, it helps with the emotion, especially if you like me that likes to, you know, sheds a tear or two when I watch these types of shows. Very strong. So we give them a 5 for that as well. 5 out of 5, man. I don't even need it. Y'all already could tell what's going to be my overall. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into overall, man. It's going to be a pretty short review as always. Solos are usually pretty short. It's definitely longer when you have somebody to shoot the shit with, you know. As for overall, I'm gonna go ahead and give the overall a 5 out of 5. Beautiful anime, beautiful slice of life. Characters were strong, the music was strong. The issues that were brought up along the way in the anime was great. It wasn't too extreme to the point you're like, god damn, but it was enough to be like, fuck, man, are these boys ever going to be ready? Especially the interaction. A lot of the side characters and stuff played a very vital role. Obviously you got the prodigies from other schools and stuff. There was one girl that was a little annoying because she wanted Houzuki to play at her school because she not grew up, but she was a fan of her when Satowa, I'm gonna just say it first, Satowa was in school and playing for her mom and stuff, and it was a lot of her music had pain behind it and stuff, so she was all about that. And she just at one point wouldn't accept that she was going to play for this school that then had a pretty much a known name, Koto. The explanation and the healing and what Chika was going through the whole time because of his grandfather, and the reason he had so much passion for playing the Koto was great. Even Kurusu and her stuff. But they had a really nice moment in there with her and Kurata when Kurata stood up for her after some other person got on her ass for something she did in the past, even though she said she didn't do anything to him. So that was really, really fun to see. 5 out of 5. So you know what that means. Run the fucking clip. right. I hope you enjoyed that little review, guys. Not gonna do a shooting the shit today, because it's just me. You know, but be sure to check out Koto Oto Tomare, Sounds of Life. It's on Crunchyroll. I think it was originally on Funimation, but they merged, so it came over. I said, it was 26 episodes. I kept saying 24. It's 26 episodes. 2 seasons. Strong anime, guys. So be sure to check that out. And next time we will be back with Classroom of the Elite. I think this is on Crunchyroll as well. Yes, Classroom of the Elite. 2 seasons so far. 13 episodes each, I think. Brilliant anime, and I look forward to talking about it with Dwayne. It's interesting for classroom kind of things. Very interesting, especially that fight scene in season 2, man. That boy. Whew. But that being said, guys, I'm not gonna keep you around much longer. Be sure to drop a comment, like, subscribe, and look out for more stuff. Check out the playlist, man. We're talking about a lot of anime, man. I think we're about to hit 60 episodes. Really looking forward to the end of the year when we do our new year, when we do our top 5 for the year from what we've watched. I know we've missed a lot of weeks. We've been like sporadic. Hope everyone enjoyed the Halloween. I rewatched the whole Halloween series, and that last one, Halloween Ends, was something. It was something. Remind me of direct to. Remember that shit used to. Remember when stuff used to go direct to DVD? That's what that movie remind me of. We got Thanksgiving coming up, our day of mourning for the Native American people, and then big old Christmas coming up. So we'll probably, hopefully, do a Christmas themed anime or anime that happens around that time. You know, we'll see. But hopefully, wish you're doing well, and as always, guys, stay safe out there.